You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome to Let's Talk Business. My name is Kelly Bolton, and I thank you for tuning in as we have the distinct pleasure of hosting our community's foremost leaders, entrepreneurs, and civic heroes. Memphis has long been a thriving center for logistics and transportation with our centralized location, Mississippi River Access and Federal Express. Memphis is a hub for delivery of goods. We're excited to welcome Roumen Denkov, president of RDX, as our guest, who leads a company which is a leader in the transportation and logistics industry. And he has an amazing story to share. So without further ado, join me as I welcome Roumen to our show. So Roumen, it's so nice to put a name with a face. I've heard so much about you. Your story is very fascinating. So if you don't mind, would you share with our viewers how you and your family ended up in Memphis?
Well, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to be in this show. I was lucky one to win the green card lottery run by United States government, and in '97 somehow I got lucky. I won the lottery, and there was only one family that I knew, of American family, and they live in Bartlett. Now you need to understand that back then there was no Google Maps or anything that you can find around the world immediately. I didn't know where Bartlett is, but Skip Davis, my friend, told me, hey, we live in Bartlett, but you need to take a flight to Memphis. So I came to Memphis, and he picked me up from the airport. Luckily, that's great chance for me to come to not just America, but to Memphis. I didn't know what to expect here. Turns out that Memphis is an incredible place. It's not small town, but it's not huge. It got all the opportunities for education, for business, for anything and everything, and at the same time, it's very affordable. It's the best place.
It's very true. Well, was it just you that came, or were there others that were lucky enough to win the lottery?
Well, I came with my wife and 2 kids. My daughter was 11, just started 5th grade. My son was 3.5. And pretty much we came with a couple of luggages.
Wow.
And a lot of desire. But
amazing.
It's been a great place for us. Now, I gotta tell you, it's not easy to start from nothing, but we were able to accomplish so much because of the people in this community that help us nonstop every single day, all these 26 years.
That is fabulous. You know, I think just hearing you talk, we have a tendency as born and raised citizens of this country and of our community to find the fault in it. That we find all the things that we should change, could change. And to see someone like you with a smile on your face who says, I was lucky enough to win the lottery, you packed a few bags and landed in Memphis, not knowing where Bartlett was, with no money, and are thankful to be here. I think that's wonderful.
Well, again, I'm very lucky, and this is not. America is not perfect, but there is no perfect place in the world either. I've been in probably 35 countries around the world, but there is no country like America. There is no place like this. I got friends from Germany that came to visit years ago, and we've been friends for a very long time. And Roumen, you accomplished so much. You got a beautiful house, you got business, and I told him, you know what? This is not me, this is America. What do you mean? You did all this. Well, true, however, I can work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, anywhere in the world. And I can do exactly the same type of work or motivation, discipline, you name it. at the end of the day, there is no place like America, because not of my work, but what this country gave me, and that is the opportunity.
Wow.
The opportunity with anything that you can dream of, as long as you're willing to do it.
Well, I'll tell you, your story is inspiring, very inspiring. And you know, we talk a lot about immigrants, and there's immigrants coming to our area, and I know that there are organizations that help them. But if you could share with people or ask people to know something about immigrants and people that are new to our area, what do you wish people knew and understood?
About new immigrants?
Yes.
Well, it's a challenge. It's a huge challenge, and number one is the language barrier. The first thing that immigrant needs to do is learn the language as fast as possible, no matter what. That's the biggest problem. Next is, of course, people needs to find job and to work to provide food for their day. For the hosts, for the community, I don't know. I've been very lucky because the community is incredible here. My daughter started 5th grade. She just landed on August 2nd of '97. A week later, on Monday, she's at school, and she didn't speak any English.
Wow.
Her room teacher, and they are still friends to this day, found out that English language will be a problem. So all the parents are there the first day of school. She simply told them, hey guys, we got a new girl here from Bulgaria. We're very excited, but she needs to learn English. I need to make a list who can come here 30 minutes before school to help her learn the language. It was a long list of people who came every day, their own time,
Wow.
to help my daughter.
That's amazing.
You can't make this stuff.
That is amazing. So it sounds like you that maybe just the need to help learn the language, and really you found Memphis to be an amazingly welcoming community, which
Yes, it is.
phenomenal. Well, I'll have to tell you, I think I used the word wow because I just keep saying wow, everything you say, more than I've ever done in a discussion. And we're going to pause here in a second, and then the next segment, I want to hear about your business.
Of course.
And we're going to talk about that. So thank you very much. And we're going to pause here. We're going to take a short commercial break, so please stick around.
I chose band because I thought it was the coolest. I don't see myself like singing to a crowd or like really putting on a show for people other than like playing. And I feel like my horn is an extension of me.
The band here at Germantown High School offers many different varieties of instrumental music. We offer marching band, we offer concert band, we offer a jazz band, a jazz class. For IB students, we offer IB music.
The band is a very interesting environment. It's a lot different from anything else you'll get in high school.
My most memorable experience with the band has to definitely be the football games. They're fun, it's fully interactive.
Band not only teaches music, it teaches leadership, it teaches tenacity, it teaches the ability to stick with one thing until you achieve a goal.
It forces you to work with other people to get better, but then also it gives you an opportunity to test yourself against others, but with the support of others as well.
For more information about the Kappa program, visit ghskappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Business. If you're tuning in, I'm Kelly Bolton, and today we have the distinct pleasure of joining us, Mr. Roumen Denkov. He's president of RDX. So thank you for joining us. I want to start with, first of all, thanking you for sharing your story.
Of course.
Quite an amazing story. And as we took a commercial break, I've learned that there's more amazing things that we're going to talk about your role in a movie, which was not the original intent of the show, but I do want to hear about that. But tell me about your company, RDX, and how you started it. As an immigrant to this country, and you said 1997, not speaking the language, with your wife and daughter and a few pieces of luggage, landing in Bartlett. How did you do this?
Well,
tell me about it.
You got to start from somewhere, and my first job was at FedEx. I'm very grateful for that opportunity. I didn't just earn the paycheck. I made a lot of friends, and they helped me a lot to learn not just about the language and the way how things are done in America, but I also learned how business is done. FedEx is one of the best companies that I've ever seen and learned about. And I learned so much from the fundamentals, how business needs to be done, and how FedEx treats its employees. So I've done some other things. Later on in 2003, I met another Bulgarian here, and we became very good friends, and his name is D. Choparov. In 2006, we decided to do something else. He went to Chicago to see a friend who was a truck driver, and he went to see his company where he was driving, and came up with this great idea that we can get in a trucking business. Wow. Okay, another adventure, why not? Yeah. Life is adventure, after all. And we didn't know anything about trucking whatsoever. So the first thing we did, we bought each of us a truck, and we drove around the country, these big 18-wheelers, for 4 years. This is how we learned the business, how things needs to be done the right way, and from the driver perspective.
So you each drove a truck around the country for 4 years?
Yes.
To learn the business?
Yep.
I think that's amazing.
And the business model, we did not create that business model. There are other companies that are doing similar thing. We just improved it and made it much better. Our business model is designed to benefit the driver, the owner-operator. We have a very deep respect for these guys, because if you've never done trucking, you don't really know what it takes to get the job done.
I heard it's very, very taxing on the body, very labor-intensive.
It's correct, but it's not just that. It's not just the skills and the knowledge and the experience that is required for that, but it's also the commitment and primarily the sacrifice, because they're sacrificing a lot. They're away from home for weeks at a time, and this is what they do. This is their job. But being away from home is a major sacrifice. So I admire these people, and we wanted to create something that will benefit them the most. We also been very lucky to find incredibly talented people that work in our office. Our job is to support the drivers. And all the people in the office are very, very, very good professionals, and they're great people. We started another business, that is RDX Brokerage. That's another part of the transportation industry. And they're doing very well as well.
Wonderful.
The thing that is most gratifying for me and Dee is that we're creating jobs. We started just two of us, 2 laptops, 2 cell phones, 1 printer, a lot of desire.
Yeah.
Literally from
A lot of hard
scratch. Now
work.
we got about 100 trucks. We got 36 employees in the office. We believe that we created a very, very good home for the drivers and good workplace for all these people that are doing what they do every day diligently. They are very committed, very loyal. They are incredible. Love them to death.
Well, you know, I was going to ask you, what do you think is the biggest reason for your company's success? And I don't think I have to ask you that, because I bet you're going to tell me that you put your employees first, because you just said you built a model around caring for your drivers. You just told me how much compassion you had for the fact they're away from their families. And then you made a comment that you have great employees and you love them to death.
Yes.
So, you know, you can't make someone be that way. You can't make someone have a heart for the people that work for them. So maybe there's more to it, but I would bet you that is a tremendous reason for your success, is that you have a heart for the people that do the work for you.
Correct. You're right. It's the people. I'm going to tell you something that may sound very weird or wrong, but if I can do this all myself, I don't need to pay other people, right? We cannot do all this. Plus, I'm not that smart. These people, they are much smarter than me. They, especially the young people. It's embarrassing because a lot of times I take this, I don't know what to do, and there is this incredible young lady in the office. Oh, let me help it, and it's done. I don't even know how they do that. Of course, millennials, they're born with this.
Right.
Yeah, but you have to understand that people are everything. We're listening about artificial intelligence, automation, and of course we would like to see some processes that will be done faster, automated, because eliminates mistakes, etc., etc. At the end is the people. You cannot substitute the human factor. And
Well,
we got
that's-
great people.
Well, thank you for that. It appears we're going to cut for just another short commercial break, so please don't go away as we learn more about how Memphis maintains its leadership in the transportation logistics industry.
I think that the visual arts really help students to develop a new vocabulary.
There's a lot of different ways that you can do art, so it's just a multimedia way of communicating, expressing yourself to other people.
At Germantown High School, we offer our introductory classes, which would be our Art 1 classes, Art 1 honors, and then you would move up into Art 2, Art 2 honors, and you can go towards the IB path, which would be what I teach, the International Baccalaureate art classes, and we also have AP art classes.
That's when you start being able to practice your skills on your own. So the skills that you learned freshman year, you get to start to kind of put them into practice and have a little bit more creative freedom.
At Germantown, we have, of course, all of the basic media, drawing, painting, all of that. But we can do a lot of printmaking. I do some fiber arts in my class, so we do, fiber design, fabric dyeing. We also have some sculptural media and processes that we explore through found object sculptures, some clay.
Even though I'm only a senior in high school, I feel like I'm a very sophisticated artist and ready to further that.
At some point in school, you're gonna have something that's gonna have to do with art. You're gonna have to make a poster, this, that, and the third, and you're gonna have these skills because you've taken this art class. You're gonna have new relationships with teachers that you might need later. Like, it's just a big learning experience.
For more information about the Kappa program, visit ghskappa.com or call 755-7775. You're You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Business. So glad you could join us today as we've had the pleasure of speaking with Roumen Denkov, president of RDX, as we learn about the critical importance of the transportation industry and how he attracts good employees and valuable employees and how his business has grown. Thank you for tuning in. Roumen, your story is inspiring. Your success is obvious, and the reason for your success is in your passion for your work and the people that work for you. And I'd love to know, we're in a difficult labor market right now, or we were leading up to kind of present time. It was difficult to find employees. Now we do know that a lot of companies are doing layoffs, so there probably will be some more employees becoming available. But I'd love to hear about how you've attracted employees and how you're getting the millennials, as you referred to your incredible, what was her name?
There are so many of them.
It's the incredible millennials, yes.
Yeah.
So how have you attracted them and other employees?
I will go a little bit further. What you started with the layoffs around the country. Mm-hmm. Here's another reason why Memphis is so great. Where the layoffs, Disney just said that they're going to lay off 7,000 people. There are tens of thousands of people that will be laid off at the tech industry, primarily in California. How many layoffs are in Memphis? Not many. Mm-hmm. This is a great place. Memphis is amazing. How we find people? Well, sometimes we place ads, but a lot of times our employees refer us to new people. Lately is something changed, and I'm so happy for that. We are hiring a lot of young people, like 19, 20, 21, 22, so they just came from high school, and we love to teach them about, not just about the workplace, but how it's done right. Mm. Because when you're young, you want to change the world and you fight, but when you come to a certain age like me, like 60, you start thinking about legacy and what is after that and what you're going to leave to the generation after you. For me personally, and for Dee as well, for both of us, it's very important to not just give the opportunity to earn a paycheck to these young people, but to teach them what is important in life and to establish a great work habits. Fundamentally, the two most important factors that I believe for success in business, the right attitude and the right business ethics. Mm-hmm. Not one or the other, it's got to be both. And we love to teach young people that, not just the small details of how the job is done in our particular business. That is much more important, and we feel that we accomplished something.
I think that's very true. Attitude and business ethics. And as we're sitting here being filmed by the most incredible young people who have tremendous ethics and attitude, they wouldn't have been able to take this position in the theater and for the school system running the cameras. And it's refreshing every time I film the show to see these wonderful young people that are here to film us and how kind and pleasant they are. But that's not always the case with young people, and sometimes young people have a tendency to have different attitudes. So I think to say attitude and ethics, that's great, because those are things that aren't taught in a textbook. So I think that's wonderful.
Well, I believe that this is where the teachers come. They're critically important, because they need to teach the kids not just the material or the topic that they're teaching, but how to do things right, and most importantly, to establish a very, very solid foundation for their future.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't think of a way to express it better. I think that is true, and I think this school has been very blessed to have that type of teacher that cares about their students. So that's wonderful. Would you have any advice for a young entrepreneur? You know, you have a dream. What do you do with it?
Number one, you have to love what you do. If you don't love it, don't do it. You have to feel in love with that particular business, job, whatever that is. Then a lot of discipline, extensive knowledge to the smallest detail in any part of the business, operation, accounting, safety, whatever that is, and a lot of patience. And at the end, again, comes to the people. For every business owner or leader in a company, number one is the people. And you have to find the right people, you have to take care of them, and you have to help them learn, you have to teach them. Being a leader, in my opinion, is one of the biggest teaching jobs.
Well, I think that's phenomenal. And unfortunately, we've got about 30 seconds left. But I did want to put a plug in for the fact that you have just been in a movie.
My daughter made a movie. It was filmed in Memphis about Bulgarian immigrants in Memphis.
Wonderful.
And it's almost done. She's working to get it in some festivals, and then will be in the theaters. And she was gracious enough to give me a role there, so now I can claim that I've been in a movie.
Well, that is fabulous.
Go figure.
That is wonderful, and
Yeah.
the next chapter of your life. So I cannot thank you enough for being a guest on our show. Your story is amazing, from an immigrant to winning the lottery in 1997. You said 1997, to running a successful business, and now a movie star. So
not that far.
well, I'm going to go with movie star. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Once again, I'd like to thank our guest, Roumen Denkov. He's president of RDX, for being with us today and sharing his insight on entrepreneurship and leadership. I hope you've enjoyed our discussion, and I hope you will join us again next month on Let's Talk Business. If you'd like to get more information on our show, you can check us out on the web at GHS-TV.org, where we're streaming live 24 hours a day. You can also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I hope you've enjoyed our discussion, and I hope you will join us again next month on Let's Talk Business. So now